Yeah, babe.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Friday with the Chakontas. I am Mr. Chakonta,
And I'm Mrs. Chakontar.
and we're back with our series on FWTC Reacts.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. I was getting excited. Well, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for following us and subscribing to our podcast. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you to those who've been commenting and engaging with us on the various platforms. So if you're not following us on Facebook or Twitter, no, we're not on Twitter,
No.
Facebook or Instagram. So please do.
Instagram as well as also TikTok.
Yes.
We're now on TikTok.
Yes.
What else? So on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah. So make sure you follow us, FWTC. And yeah, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you like what you hear, please do subscribe. So I'll get straight into the topic now. So our story goes like this. I am 29. I had been dating my woman for 4 years. We always spoke of marriage and I thought we would be together forever until last year, around April, we decided we both wanted different things. We went separate ways. We broke up. I really loved this woman, and even though we were going through a difficult relationship, fights, breakups/makeups, I always thought we would end up together. She started dating some other man and I too became intimate with someone else. Months passed and I got news from friends that she was pregnant and that the father of her child denied responsibility. I felt very bad and heartbroken at the same time, very sorry for her, and at the same time felt very sorry for her. So I called her to find out what the situation was, and indeed it was true. From the day I called her, she has not stopped trying to reach me. She came to me begging on her knees that I should take her back. She has been apologizing, saying we had made a mistake to split up in the first place and that she still loves me and still wants us to get married. She's been crying over the phone and contacting my closest friends and relatives to talk to me. I don't know what to do. A part of me still loves her, but a big part of me also is putting into consideration that she has a child with another man. I have forgiven her, God knows, but I don't know if I should take her back.
Yeah. Any suggestions?
Any suggestions?
Yeah. I always give
I tend to bounce off quite well off you.
Okay, give some suggestions.
Give some suggestions. Babe. Okay.
I'm putting you on the spot.
You are.
Okay.
You want to take me out of my misery?
Okay, yes. So on this situation, I think we've come to a point of where we do get a lot of these scenarios. And I think maybe some people are just like, oh, why are you guys talking about pregnant women? Are we being biased? And I think it's good to understand, especially in relationships, as much as their responsibility is on both on you guys, there's a level of where we have to understand that women need to be very vigilant, especially when they're growing older, that when they're getting into relationships and intimate, they have to be sensible because they're the ones who get to a point of where now these decisions become very hard decisions.
Yeah.
And I think this is why sometimes we have to overemphasize on this.
Yeah.
And again, we're not letting men go away from their responsibilities, but this is a situation where we have to be able to talk and give the best possible advice.
Yes.
And on top of that, one of the things I always see is people are engaging into relationships where they are staying into long-term relationships without commitments. Because it starts where in a relationship for 4 years. And I'm just like, in 4 years, you haven't come to a position of what you're going to do. And now you've come into a position of where you've given each other your emotions. You've done so many things. And then now it comes to a point of where you break up after 4 years. There's no, I see that's a waste of time. And I think this is why I think whenever I watch this, I try to give advice. Because I'm not saying that we were perfect a long time, because some of us, when we're younger, we used to try to do whatever with these things, where try to date and try to open love whenever it was before it's time. And now looking back and seeing that when we're married, we're just like, that's just a waste of time.
Yeah,
And
literally.
I think sometimes when we're giving advice, people just like, "But you guys did A, B, C, D. You had a boyfriend, you had a girlfriend, and all that stuff." But like, I think it's also speaking from experience. And I think also when probably our parents were also, our aunties and uncles were telling us before, we were behaving the same way.
Yeah.
But I think maybe the problem I have probably with, I don't know. I may be, what's the word? What's the word? Where I'm
trying to figure out what you're trying to say before I can give you the word.
yeah, I'm just trying to, like, maybe I'm being too, it's not too harsh. It's the word of where I'm trying to say, like, this time is worse than the other side. How would you basically,
What do you mean this time?
This day and age?
Oh yeah, things that no, because it's exactly what I was actually going to bring it up. Like, it's more one of the other reasons why we're talking, why a lot of our stories relate to pregnant women or pregnant girls is because it's actually more common.
Yeah, but do you think it's more common than when it was our time?
It's becoming more and more common.
So
with time.
Yeah.
So and I think it's worse now than it was back in the day. So yeah, you're right.
Okay. So I'm not the one thinking that way.
No, I think so.
So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like maybe because it's worse than it was before, and I think there has to be a level of where we have to talk about it more.
Even more. Exactly.
And especially also on the other side, I think the culture has become very sexualized.
Absolutely.
From the TV to the classroom
to the clothes. I can't even find a normal t-shirt these days. Everything's a crop top.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just an aside note. Continue. Sorry, babe.
And because of that, it now becomes an aspect of where even in Christian circles, we are seeing that the level of just decency and wanting to basically portray yourself with purity is something that is lost.
It's, definitely.
And I think this is why sometimes...
And you're like the odd one out.
Yeah, and this is why we need to overemphasize on these things. Especially like young girls. We know the emotions you're going through.
Yeah.
A guy is showing interest in you and is basically showing whatever. And it's like, you feel like that interest, you want it so much. And it's, I don't know maybe how women feel, because it's like they love it so much, that attention, to the point of where like they have to trade something to continuously get that attention, which is
I don't think it's always a trade, but I think like it's like when you water a flower and then it just blossoms and it just opens up. Why are you laughing?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's always thinking, oh, I need to give him something back. I think you want to, and I think a lot of girls, I don't think it's because they feel like they have to.
Yeah.
Anymore. Like, I think there's also a thing where they want to, and they feel like it is okay to give, and they want to enjoy the moment and they want to give the moment. So it's even harder to even speak to somebody who actually wants to do and wants to engage and wants to feel. It's a bit easier to speak to somebody who is giving it as a trade, because then you're just telling them you are worth more than this. You don't need to give your body as a trade because a guy is doing A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
I think those situations are easier to speak into. But I do think that a lot of the time now, especially like, as you're saying, the world has become more sexualized. This is normal. So our children are growing up into men and women who feel that it's my body, I can do what I want. And in this moment in time, I am old enough to make this decision. I want to enjoy this. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah. And that's hard to tap into and try and encourage wait when they're like, I don't want to wait. I don't see the point on waiting. What's all this? I don't need to wait until I get married. Everybody's doing it. Why should I wait?
Yeah. And this is what we're trying to say. Like, look, there's a framework that's been given in scripture. If you guys cannot wait, get married. And I think this is something that we need to overemphasize. There's nothing wrong with having sex or anything like that in the right context. You have to have it in the right context. And it's only reserved for marriage. Because as we always say, that's where the commitments are. Because now we come to a point of when we're getting a story like this.
Yeah.
Where we're saying these guys had 4 years, broke up, they went away, she's gone, and now she's living a whole life. She's gotten pregnant. He was also intimate. We can't also just look aside.
She just happened to get pregnant.
Now they're trying to get back, and now like they're trying to now rectify the whole situation. And now there's now reservations because it comes to another aspect of where you're now trying to now, it's like you've made mistakes and now you're trying to come back, but you've come back with a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
One, you've come with a child. Two, you've also come with somebody's child, not just your child. So you're now coming with an extra voice of how are we supposed to now raise this child, especially now if you want to make commitments going forward. We agree in the sense of saying that, look, people make mistakes.
Exactly.
And because it shouldn't be like because they've made a mistake, they should be disqualified to actually experience these beautiful moments of relationships, getting married and everything like that. But we also need to understand that as they are going forward, they also have to be understanding that those beautiful aspects of what you used to think before of I will finish school, get married, it now comes, it's a whole different dynamic of what you're going to think. You have to say, okay, when I'm now getting into a relationship, I don't want to call it baggage because it's not baggage in the sense of
it's not
baggage.
it's not like a because when we say baggage, we always think it's bad and
but it's like I always have to always think of the responsibilities that I'm coming with. I have a child. I have this and that. It's the same also like somebody who's either divorced or widowed. That whenever they're now trying to get into a new relationship, those are the extra factors that they need to be thinking about, especially with widowed. It's not like they're widowed because by choice.
No,
this is something that God by his wisdom has allowed it. So now going forward, it's like you're trying to also make a decision and trying to say, what's the best person I'm going to get with who is also going to understand I have a child. And this situation that I had is not because I left my husband. It's not because I did ABCD. It's because God in his own wisdom allowed my husband or my wife to go. Now I'm trying to start a new life. But there has to be a level of wisdom because you're also going there and not just saying, I love this person. You're supposed to say, I love this person. And how is this person going to fit in my scenario of the way I live life? I have children. I have this. I have that. And it comes with an aspect of you're not only thinking about yourself. And I think this is now the situation that has come in this particular aspect. This woman is pregnant and is having a child. And now she wants to cling into an odd relationship that she found it wasn't feasible for her. And again, I also have to talk about it and saying, why is it feasible? But we'll talk about that later. I'd like you to, before I continue, I can go on and on. But
I was enjoying you speak. You were just point after point. And I didn't even think that, there's a point where I'm going to need to speak. Like, what do I want to say? Don't really have anything to say yet, babe.
So like, what do you think about, especially like, do you think, I've got a question.
Yes.
Do you think that her being clingy is based on the aspect of she's just emotional?
Clingy as in the guy? Her being clinging to the guy, old boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend, because maybe she's found some rejection.
Yes.
And now she's saying, oh, this guy's giving me attention. And now she's going and reminiscing so much about the past. And
that's the problem. That's what I was going to say. Like, with what you're saying, it's now become a bit messy in a way that he now might not know, does she genuinely love me, or is it because this other guy has run away and she now wants somebody to be with for the rest? Is she marrying me for me, or is she marrying me because she's in a bit of an entanglement? And I think that is going to be hard for both of them, because even she needs to ask herself that question, because the question is, why didn't you go back to him before? Why now? And then the question with him is, what do you need to know that she wants you for you, and not because she now wants somebody who will marry her with a child and not regret in the future? Because you don't want a situation where now he marries her and now he's thinking, oh, maybe you just married me for this. And that's always something that's in their marriage. And in something like this, I don't think it's unresolvable, because, with all things, with God, forgiveness is key.
Mhm.
And I think this is something that can be resolved
Yeah.
through forgiveness, through prayer, through wisdom and time.
Mhm.
I don't think this is a time to start rushing into this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if she's pregnant, there are all lots of emotions. And there could be a chance that some of these emotions are pregnancy emotions.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
That's true.
because when you're pregnant, your hormones are all over the place. You might be easily irritable, or maybe you're not as irritable, or whatever it is. I think right now is not the time for her to jump in and make a decision like this. They had 4 years to make this decision. Why now should it be the time that they need to make this decision to be together and get married? No.
Does she want to get married?
Yeah, because he says, I don't know. Wait. She said. She said. She shared months.
Begging on my knees to take her back.
Yeah. Why is she to take her back and do what? Because after now they need to be taking each other back to get married, not to now take it. They've been together long enough to know each other than now to be taking each other back to be boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oh yeah, actually says yeah, and she's been apologizing, saying that she made a mistake to split up with me in the first place.
And that she still loves me and wants us to get married. She's been crying over the phone, contacting my client. No. And I advise both of them. I think, there's hope in that he says he still has feelings for her.
Yeah.
And she's saying she still has feelings for him.
Yeah.
So there's hope in this situation. But right now, you don't want to enter into a marriage without ironing out these crucial things. Because marriage, as beautiful as it is, as my husband has said, has also got its own challenges. So right now, I think the best thing to do would be, my advice is time. She needs time. She's pregnant. Wait until the birth of the baby. There's time. See how things are. Because right now she probably feels alone.
Yeah.
Like you said, she probably has feelings of rejection. Probably has feelings of embarrassment. No, feeling like there is no hope. But whether this man takes you back or not, you still have hope and you still have a future. Because God will still help you even in your deepest and darkest moments. Even in your mistake, there is still a light. There is still God. He knew that this time was going to come.
Yeah.
So my advice would be, you need time for yourself. You need time to really just understand what happened. This guy has denied responsibility. Okay, it's me and my child. Think about you and your child and how you're going to move forward together. Your biggest concern right now shouldn't be this other guy and getting married. And yes, it feels like I missed out on a good thing. If it was this guy, he wouldn't have run away. You start to have loads of these thoughts. But I think, taking that time out and leave the guy alone, because you're also confusing him by begging him. And because, like, you can still have a relationship. You can still talk. You've given him the opportunity to say, I love you. I want you back. I want you to be married. Now you need to give him the space to have time to think about it and to make a decision whether it's a yes or no.
Yeah.
And I think you calling him, he loves you and you've got that in the bag in one way, but it's a lot to ask of somebody.
Yeah.
And this could have all been the other way around as well. Like, it doesn't mean, he's also been with somebody else. So he could have been the other way around. Yeah. So I think, but it's him who's writing to us, isn't it? And I'm addressing her, but we don't know about her.
Okay.
But for him, I would say time. You don't need to make a decision right now.
Okay. Quick question. Do you think it's much easier for women to accept a man with children than a man to accept?
Yeah, definitely. The society has done it. I don't know why. You can explain that to us, because I'm speaking for all the other women.
Because it seems as if I have seen this probably, like where like some men have got children outside marriage, but they'll easily find a woman.
Yeah, and, I think it's true. It is.
And for a woman having another child, it's like it's unfair.
Another man's child. It's not fair. No,
it's unfair. Like thinking about it from that perspective, but that's just the way society is.
Why do you think that is, babe?
I don't
Since
know.
you're a man, you can maybe explain it to some of us.
I do not know. There's just another, and maybe there's an angle where like some people are like, okay, I don't know. Maybe it's a pride thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know what it is.
But it's true, because remember when we were reviewing Blue Therapy, it was the same thing. He was like, I wouldn't be with you if you had children, but he had 4 kids.
Yeah.
Or 3
and
kids.
that's why I was saying, like, look, women, protect yourselves. Because again, even on this other side, we need to understand, look, and you're already at a disadvantage in based on society aspects. One, we also need to understand the roles that God has placed upon us. Men are called to lead, women are called to follow. And also on the other situation, now on top of that, we're also seeing these society barriers that are coming. We're not saying that if you've got a child, no one will accept you. That is untrue. But we're saying generally,
even though we haven't researched,
yes,
it's something that we can definitely see.
It's something that we see. And don't put yourself in a compromised position of where you're basically taking away the options for yourselves. But again, even when we're saying these things, it doesn't mean that now you should now go and start doing other things, especially when you get pregnant. We're not saying that. Those are things that we've talked about in other episodes. But again, it's just also understand, maybe I think also just to go back on this story, maybe again, it's also just understanding like the attention she's getting. She's basically just saying, okay, wow, I'm pregnant. This is not his child. He called me. Okay. Why didn't I see this? Oh my days. Why were we even fighting? And he's actually coming and checking up on me. So I think also that maybe she's also confused. And I think on the other guy, the guy is also adding to the confusion that she's having at the moment.
Yes, by being
there for her. And I think
he needs to give it some. If he's not sure what he wants to do, he needs to be honest. Sorry, you said you think.
And I think there's another issue. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, I think we talked about this some time back. Like, even the odd relationships that we have, there's a level of where like there's emotions that we have even as we've also broken up and gone our separate ways. When we hear that person who we once loved is going through something difficult, it's like, oh, it affects you somehow. And that's why we're saying, oh my days, we do not know those things that we used to do in the past where expressing ourselves to these same people, how it affects us also in the future.
Yeah.
And I think this is why we're saying it's not good to open yourself up before the time is, because you'll be
before you get married.
Because that can also be another aspect of where it can bring problems into your marriage.
Yeah.
Because you're just trying to be a nice guy and you don't even know why you're being nice. Because you're just saying, look, I'm being nice for the sake of just being nice. She's my friend. He's my friend. But like the friendship also comes with the aspect of the intimate aspects you guys had. If it was just friendship that led to where you're expressing yourselves, either physically or verbally, it comes to a point of those things have memories. And those memories come in a certain way of where we feel a certain way. Even though we're not together, there's a feeling of where we feel a certain way about each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we need to be protecting each other and also help be able to put these things in context.
Yeah, because he also says that at the end, a part of me still loves her, but a big part of me is also putting into consideration that she has a child with another man. So he's not there yet. So I think right now, you know, it is confusing. It is a lot to think about, and just tell her, you know what, I think you can even advise her, you know what, I think right now focus on your health and the baby. And this is something I'm going to think about. We need to talk about it. And they can have an honest conversation about, okay, what, because just because this has happened, this does not mean that they're meant to be together. Why didn't they get married in the first place? Because they kept on breaking up and making up. So what's going to make this different? So if they were to get back together, why would it be different? Are they not going to break up again in 2 years, 3 years? They need to really iron out, why did they break up? And how is that not going to, because they were in and out relationship. So
what about it? Let's say hypothetically it's me and you. What if I came and told you like you're pregnant and I say, look, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. And I'm only helping you in this situation because I love you as a friend. What would you say to me when you want all those things?
Oh, my husband just broken my heart. I think that sometimes when you're in such a situation, I don't know, maybe you might just say, you know what, it's enough. Some women will just say, that's enough for me. He loves me. Because at least I have a man who will look after me and my child.
I'm telling you, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. That's why I can't make that decision.
Then just be honest.
I'm telling you that.
No, that's not being honest. You're just telling me I love you. That's all I'm hearing. I'm like, he loves me, but okay, maybe not that much, but at least he loves me. Tell me, what do you mean? Gotta tell me in plain black and white.
Okay, so what do you want me to tell you? You want me to say I love you, but I don't want to be with you?
Yes.
That's what you want me to say?
That is what is going to close the door. Don't tell me you love me, but you don't. But you're not in love with me. Just be open and say I don't want.
What does that? I love you, but I'm not in love with you. How does what's that window? Or how does that mean that there's a window by me saying I'm not in love with you?
Yeah, because you're saying you love me. Because the thing is, I think the whole idea of I'm in love. I mean, I used to get it when I was younger, but now I'm just like. Why are you laughing, babe?
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Explain it, please.
No, I think there's a certain aspect of where we're like, oh, we're in love, because there's a love, like sometimes when we say we're in love, it means that I don't even know how to explain it, to be honest.
Like the explain,
yeah,
like the butterflies are flying.
Yeah, and it's like it's all perfect. I think maybe it's like maybe on the love side, the way we've been taught about love.
Yes,
it's from
the teaching of what love is and being in love.
It's like the love that we have is like this very emotional side, and very feeling-y aspect, like this Greco-Roman aspect of love, like Cupid struck me, and then
my roses, my flowers.
It's like it's uncontrollable.
Yes,
and instead of what we learn
speaking on the phone till God knows what,
and we consider that as love. Instead of from looking at it from a biblical perspective. Of what love is. And now when we are growing up, it's like even in our marriages, it's like there's tension because we're saying because I'm not receiving these things, it's
you
not
don't
love.
Love me.
You don't love me. And we're equating to love to those things, even though we've matured. We still actually think if you don't buy me a gift, and I feel that way. So if you don't do this, if you don't do that, because those are the things that make you feel loved. Whereas if somebody says, no, I love you. What do you mean? I'm kind, I'm patient, I'm gentle, I don't keep a record of wrong. You're like, but you forgot our anniversary. What do you mean? You know? But so yes, I agree with you. I think so. So your question. So this is why I'm saying it's better to be point blank, because if you use certain words like I love you, to me that feels, I'm like, he loves me. But then maybe if you said, oh, I care about you, like the way I care about my sister, then it starts to ring bells like, oh, he's putting me in the sister zone. You know, but if you say to me, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, I don't think everybody would take it, especially when you're in such a situation. I mean, if this was us, like you said, I might just take the risk and just say, I would rather still be with you. At least you're going to stick around. And I think also, just like from experience, like maybe it's best that you don't just tell me you love me, because it gives me false hope.
That's what I meant.
Because it basically says, oh, you love me, but you're not there yet.
Yeah, you could get there with
time, but you love me.
Yeah, but he loves me. He said he loves me. So he's not in love with me.
Just don't tell me.
You know, I'm going to dress up. I'm going to do my hair like this. I know he likes this particular hairstyle. You start to do things for him to fall in love with you, or for him to love you more, or you start to, you know, compensate in other ways to make him happy. And it just becomes messy. So I think you're right, baby. It's better to just say, not to say I don't love you, but to just say, be honest and say, I am not sure if I want to be in a relationship with you. I need time to make this decision. I will get back to you in 2 weeks. I'll get back to you. But I think it's good to also give a time frame. The poor girl be waiting there for.
No, but I also think on this other side of where I'm saying, like, if you love somebody and you are not ready, the best thing is to let them go.
If you love someone and you're not ready for marriage,
or whatever the situation is, you may love them, but you are not ready to commit or to do anything. You need to let them go.
That's true.
And I think this starts from the beginning. Love sometimes is also about sacrifice. There's always this saying that, oh, if you love something, let it go and it'll come back to you. I
Yeah,
don't.
it doesn't always come back. Oh,
But I think when I say come back, I think people think it's that same love, that same person. But I think also what comes back to you is love does come back to you in a different form. It may be somebody else. It may be something else where you're finding joy and peace in. And I think this is why I said what we're saying. Like, but I think when people actually say that, it's like that person will come back to you in due time. Let it go and it will come back to you. But I think we need to expand it.
Yeah.
And trying to say like, look, it's not just one
This
person.
is not the only guy. It's not the only fish in the sea.
Yeah.
Might be the fish you want right now, but it's not the only fish in the sea. And you want a man who is going to say, as hard as it is, you want a man who's going to say, I love you. I know the situation that you're in, and I will be there for you and the child.
Yeah, but do you think his presence, let's say for example, do you think he should withdraw his presence?
In this situation, he's not sure, yes, because she's all over him.
But the question is,
but I don't know what that's going to do to her.
Yeah, but if she needs help.
What kind of help?
Like my situation, me being here, knowing that you're pregnant, I'm just helping you out.
What are you helping with?
I'm just basically here to just say, look, you need help. The guy who's there is not there to be. I will be there. I'll step up.
What exactly is the help that you're offering? You need to be very specific about the help.
As a friend.
What is it
like
that you're providing?
Okay, let's say hypothetically.
Yes.
I'm taking you to the hospital appointments.
Problem.
I'm buying you food.
Yeah, problem.
I'm buying you ABCD.
Yeah, problem.
Just to encourage you to just.
No. Because if I am now pouring my heart to you and telling you that I want to be with you, take me back, and then you're saying, no, I don't want you, but then your actions are showing other things. I think you need to be very clear. Like, look, I don't want to be with, maybe, I don't know how nice you can say that. I don't think this is a time. You can even say, let's wait until the baby is due. Maybe if you're worried about maybe her health, or you're worried about what she's going to do because she's not sure, you can say, look, let's not right now focus on the baby. I don't know if this is something that I can commit to. I think you have to be very specific. I am not sure. And you need to also protect yourself if you know you're not sure, and say, I am happy to help you as a friend, to take you to the hospital, or to buy you, help you with money financially because I care about you. But honestly speaking, I don't think I cannot make a decision whether I want to marry you right now or not, or I don't want to marry you.
No, but my question,
that would hurt.
Yeah,
Look at me speaking as if somebody said that to me, I'll be there like,
the question I
you don't want to marry me.
The question I have is, my presence confusing? Go.
Yes, your presence is confusing. You can't be doing all of that, because all of that makes me feel like, or as a woman the woman makes me feel like you want me, and it is confusing, because it's like your actions are suggesting that this is exactly what I want in a man or in a husband, and you're doing it. And I think if you're going to be a supportive friend, knowing that this woman has feelings for you, you have to be very clear about what your presence is there for, just to help her.
Do you think clarity is enough? Because I can just be there out of just caring for somebody, but you're going to translate it as something else.
That's true. I think sometimes clarity with the words is not always enough. I think sometimes clarity also comes with actions. You can say that, but then because you keep doing it, maybe she has hope. And it's like, how often are you going to keep telling her? But then at the same time, should it be your job to now keep telling her all the time? I think this is where you need to have an honest conversation. Maybe, you do it, and then after a few weeks, you're like, okay, let's have a conversation. Is because where I'm at has not changed. Are my actions making this even more difficult for you?
Yeah, but you also see that he's confused. He's confused in the sense of he likes her, but he's saying.
But he says the big problem is the pregnancy is a big problem.
So I think we're looking at it on the other side of where we're saying that the girl is more upfront. And
she's the one who because he hasn't said I want you.
Yeah, her upfrontness can be clouded either with, as we've said, with
being in
emotions or whatever, and him being available.
Yeah.
But also on his side, he's showing his kindness is not just kindness on the side of where I'm your friend. I care about you and I love you.
Yeah.
but your situation is not favorable for us.
Yeah.
So he's also confused. So
Yeah, he's confused.
his presence is also based on confusion.
Yeah, so I think in this situation, maybe his presence should not be present because it's not going to also help him to think properly.
Yeah.
Because maybe if he's seen her regularly, he starts to develop emotions and, history starts to repeat itself. But the question is, it's fine if all of that happens as long as they deal with the issues of why they broke up. You don't want a situation where now time passes by where this is no longer, the focus is no longer the pregnancy or the situation she's now in, and that now have to face each other and the reality kicks in that, oh, we've made a decision to be together forever. Am I okay with that?
So yeah, like we're saying, there has to be a level of wisdom on this situation. Because I think also on the other side is like, you don't want to commit on something whether I think on his side, he's just saying the need to have a conversation. But I also would like to also know how involved the other person is, even though he's not around.
Oh, that's true.
There can be another time where that person comes and disrupts. So it's like you want to move forward, but there's so much
uncertainty.
What do they call them? Landmines. Like when you step on something like a ball.
Oh, landmine? I don't know. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, basically. So there are a lot of things that can just blow up the whole situation. In the aspect of where you may make a commitment, then the guy who's impregnated you comes back. So what does that mean?
Yeah, that's a conversation to be had.
How is he going to be part of this situation?
Yeah, she still have feelings for him, because it's one thing when somebody walks out of you, walks away, and you were in a relationship.
Were they in a relationship?
I don't know. We don't know. That's a question that we need to know. Yeah, was it just the shenanigan thing, or were they in a relationship?
But either way, they still have a kid together. If he wants to be involved, that's his kid.
No, what I meant was, I agree with you. No, what I meant was, if let's say they're together, they're boyfriend and girlfriend, and then she gets pregnant, now he runs away, her feelings are not just going to go away for him, just like today, because he ran away.
Yeah.
If it was maybe just a one night stand or a one time thing, it might be a bit different. She might not have feelings for him.
Yeah.
But then now, how do your feelings now? Have you dealt with that heartbreak before moving on to the next person? Because like you said, if he comes back, is she now gonna, and he wants to be part of it, is she now gonna start saying, oh, I've got feelings for him and he is the father of my children or my child? And do you know what I mean? It can be a bit messy, but I don't know. What do you think the guy should do? Because he's the one asking.
It's very complicated. I think there has to be a level of wisdom and also ask a lot of questions before you can make that decision. Because you never know. Because, like you have to really protect yourself. And I think I understand his dilemma. Because again, you never know, like, what does she really want? Is it based on just her emotions and saying somebody's there? What if that person comes back and he's there, where he's now there for you? And he can actually even offer a bit more than I can.
Yeah.
So now I'm basically now looking at myself, I'll be insecure.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I was there for you when this guy wasn't there. So it's also basically finding ways of how to find understanding and putting yourself in a situation and trying to say, I love this girl, but maybe the best way for me to make a decision is maybe take myself out of this situation. Things clear up with whatever situation she has in that thing. If she first needs to sort out this relationship she has with this guy, have the baby, and whenever, then maybe if I still feel the same, I can come in and help. But I don't know. That's what I would do. And for everybody, this is my advice to somebody, but everybody has got their own thresholds of what they can do. But I also understand there has to be clarity of where we are going, because this is a big commitment, and it also changes. It's not the same as somebody just come in and they're just by themselves. There's a lot of responsibilities that have come. So the guy needs to really consider those things. Yeah. Anything else?
No. I think we've gone through and through.
Yeah.
With a fine tooth comb.
Okay. So thank you very much for listening to this episode of FWT Reacts, and we're thankful for all the support that we get from you guys.
Absolutely.
And like we always say, If you like the episode and the episodes before, like, subscribe, and
Share.
and also comment, please. So thank you
Yeah.
very much for all the support that we get from you. So until next time,
It's
take care of
bye.
yourself and bye-bye.
Bye from us.
Bye-bye.